last video we addressed the 90-90 position with that internal rotation stretch. Did you remember? Basically going over how we can address and target internal rotation on the hip, because that seems to be, in my opinion, a big issue that most people have, and how it addresses the joint capsule and restoring the function. Because, like I said, that's the most critical part when it comes to the hip. Because the capsule function is the priority. I had to get some yoga blocks. We're about to get nasty, because when it comes to the 90-90 position, that 90-90 stretch, a lot of people can be limited when they get into that stretch, specifically on that internal rotation side leg, whichever leg that is. And actually, both legs might not even be the same when it comes to their range of motion. Let me just get nasty with it for y'all. So let's say we get into this and people can't even, maintain and be upright in this position. The reason why this is kind of tough for a lot of people is because we got a multitude of things. Because a lot of people, they neglect that lateral motion in the spine, okay, the obliques, all right, that could be a limiting factor. The front leg can be a limiting factor. And abduction, abduction outside this, okay, can be limited in a lot of Neanderthals.
It is here that lives another species of human, the Neanderthals.
This might just be a tough position in general to get that work done, okay, get that work done in that hip. So today, I'm gonna be showing y'all a spicy little drill that we could do a nice little squeeze play and attack that internal rotation on both sides of the hip. And you're gonna wanna stay tuned for the whole video, because as I'm doing this, I'm dropping hints, I'm dropping cues, I'm dropping knowledge from the ancient Hebrew language that's been passed down from the past 3,000 years in order to help you restore that hip function, in order for you to target specifically that joint capsule. Okay, so stay tuned and we're gonna finesse this together. So we're gonna need yoga blocks for this exercise, or some kind of seat. Now, depending on the height of this seat is gonna be very dependent on your range of motion, but also your tall height in general. So I'm 8 feet tall, so I need this many yoga blocks, but just work with what you got. Now, how we're gonna target internal rotation?
Nice and easy, okay?
We're gonna go in the wide stance. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta show you this angle. We're gonna get wide with the hips, okay? So with this position, we wanna maintain and stay upright, okay? We don't wanna be slouched over, schmiegel back in it, okay? We wanna stand tall. Now, we're gonna take the leg, whichever leg it is, okay? And we're gonna stretch it on the inside. We're gonna take our hand. If you got fragile knees, don't put your hand on your knees, okay? Just put it right above. Boom, stand upright. And we're gonna twist our torso towards that leg. So think about putting that belly button in line with the knee. Now, we're already gonna start feeling some juicy stretching right here, okay? And key side note, like I said, those ancient Hebrew cues, that left leg, or the opposite leg that we're stretching in this case, we wanna keep it out because we wanna kinda challenge our hips in this stretch as well. Removing the torso, adjust the hands as you want, that doesn't really matter. And now right here, we're getting some capsule stretching in. But if you notice, the cool thing is, we don't have to rely on our lateral motion of the spine. We don't have to rely on any other mobility. We just have to worry about the hip in this position. We're doing the same concept, stretching 90 seconds, ideally to 2 minutes, and applying those isometrics, that gas pedal isometric that I talked about in the last video, all right? And that's what we're doing. We're gonna apply isometrics into our hand, okay? So we need actually our own physical strength to provide feedback to that hip. So ideally, I'm trying to push my leg this way after that 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and I'm pushing into my hand, but I'm not able to move it. And like I said, you only wanna do like 30%, 40% pressure. You don't wanna go Neanderthal behemoth mode 100% right off the rip, because guess what? You might rip something else. Like I said, we're doing isometrics, ideally a 30-second isometric at about 30 to 40% intensity. So the key is long duration, low intensity at first. We do that, and ideally we do 2 sets. 2 sets of the isometric. Isometrics? Yeah, the isometrics, baby. What did I just say? 2 sets of the isometrics. So we do 2-minute stretch, 2 sets of the isometrics. We do a 2-minute stretch, do an isometric. That's 1 set. Now, here's the key, here's the juice. Ancient Hebrew style. We're going further in the stretch. So after that first isometric, now we're going a little bit further. Stay locked in. So now we're in a range that our body has no clue about. Be extra cautious the deeper you go into the stretch. Because after that first isometric, you're gonna notice you're gonna be able to go a little bit further in that stretch. You do another set. 2 minutes of stretching, 30 seconds of isometric, low intensity. After we're done with that isometric training, what essentially happened is we open the gateway to Narnia, AKA that new range of motion. So next up, what we wanna do is we wanna take something like a lightweight. We could take a dumbbell or something a little bit more juicier, all right? Something like that, you know? We're gonna go into that range of motion safely, that new range of motion, all right? And we're gonna do some kind of end range liftoffs and a little bit of car work in there too, weighted now. So going out in the external rotation, breathe out, that was intense. We're coming in nice and slow, okay, deep, as far deep as you can, okay? And whatever you gotta do with your hands to make yourself feel secure, by all means, go for it, okay? Going out, as far out as we can, back in. And the key with the opposite leg now, you don't wanna have this stanky leg down for the ride, okay? Because we wanna challenge our hips. And how do we challenge our hips? We gotta keep them at maximal range of motion. So we're standing upright, okay? Externally rotating as far out as we can. Back, a nice negative into internal rotation. And you wanna treat that like weight training. So let's say I do that 8 to 10 reps, all right? Put the weight down and then rest about 1 minute to 2 minutes, knock it out again. Ideally, you wanna do the isometric stretch first and then directly, or like rest a little bit and then directly into that same leg, we're doing the weighted. Then you're gonna switch legs. So do the whole sequence on one leg first and then a sequence on the other. And that's how we're getting those hips nice and mobile, but also strong in those end ranges. And afterwards, give yourself a test, you know? Retest your squat afterwards, okay. Something's feeling kinda all right. So I ended up not putting this in. If you stay to the end, you'll see why. Now, this is another variation of the car that you can do in this side lying position. By the way, the full workout will be in the description below, so check it out. That's a variation that you can do besides the 90-90, because that 90-90 can be demanding on more areas of the body that we're not necessarily trying to work, okay? We're not trying to work our oblique mobility. We're not trying to work our abduction too much, okay? It's cool to flex. It's cool to flex, you know? But it's not necessary. If we gotta go, you know, change up the setup a little bit, do something like this, all right, maybe we need more yoga blocks, you know, from like skyscraper to skyscraper, whatever you gotta do. If the last 90-90 variation's too difficult, go ahead and give this a try, baby. But anyways, guys, much love, peace and chicken grease. Feel free to like and subscribe, share it to the boys, share it to the dogs out there, okay? Share it to your grandma who's, you know that hip needs work, all right? Anyways, give it a heart, much love, and we out. Y'all don't even gotta pay for my OnlyFans at this point. But basically, oh no, I can't do that, I can't do that, it's just too much. That's too much, bro. It's gonna be on the internet for 3,000 years, and everyone's gonna know the secrets to the sauce.